increases. Electricity has gone up. And I know in South Africa we're dealing with really increased operational costs. So there's so many increases of costs that's happening. And we all measure it. We all are aware of it. But one of the things that companies are not measuring, and I think if we don't start really focusing on that, we're in for trouble. And that's disengagement. And what is it really costing us with disengaged staff?
I'm glad you're bringing up that topic because it's one of my favorite topics. So, disengaged staff, let me just give you a little bit of background. I just read the Gallup Leadership Report, 2025. Disengaged staff worldwide at this point is costing approximately $10 trillion.
Wow.
$10 trillion. Some you can see on the spreadsheet, and I would say 80% you cannot see on the spreadsheet. And I'm speaking because I was a COO myself at one stage. So you can see absenteeism, it's calculated. Sick leave is calculated. Those types of things are calculated, they're seen. But the disengagement we're talking about now, maybe you can give me a breakdown. What do you think it is?
In terms of a breakdown financially, or what's happening?
What is disengagement?
Disengagement is actually when people are, you've just mentioned absenteeism. So they are obviously not there. But the one that I think we often don't realize is presenteeism. So people are at work and they are physically showing up, but they are not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. They are there, but they're not engaged. They just do the bare minimum. You and I have seen that in teams where there's one that really works hard, bringing over-deliver. Then there's the ones that are checking out. They are sitting there, but they're not really fully present. And then there's the ones that just do the bare minimum. And eventually what starts happening is leaders don't address it always. They see it, but they don't address it until that this person that's doing everything gets to the point of losing interest and they leave. And when they leave, you know as a COO what happens. You are not only losing the person physically, you have to now train up somebody. And you have to, the time to train them up. Because this person, it's going to take a lot of time, and this person is leaving with the knowledge of your business, how it works. So you're going to probably not be able to replace that one person. You're going to have to bring in more people because of the skills that you are losing with one person. And that's the disengagement that is starting to cost us. We have to redo work. We have to work harder. We have to go back and fix things. Where if we had an engaged staff member, they would have been able to do the work, get it done faster. If they had the support to do that, you would have not had that gap where the losses are happening.
Yeah, and that's what you call productivity.
Absolutely.
So productivity is now dropped by about 34% just in South Africa.
Sure.
Disengaged staff in South Africa now is 160 billion rand. 160 billion. Mm-hmm. And then in the report, 20% of the workforce are engaged, which means 80%, that's a huge number, are disengaged in the workplace. So what is that costing companies? And leaders don't seem to look at that. There are, I mean, we've got some clients that are interested in the wellness programs and are taking action to resolve the issue. However, let's give an example now. We've done 4 assessments. Only 4. The response, like you know, came back 65% disengaged from the average of all 4. So we can do 20 of them. I can tell you from the 4 we've done, we're going to get a benchmark already that the others we do in other companies are going to come back pretty similar.
And the disengagement that happens with this, and there's so many different levels of why people become disengaged. What shows up? Burnout. The pressure that they're under gets to the point of where they cannot deliver, they cannot keep up with the pressure. Because, and I had a conversation with a client the other day, and his words were, if top management just realizes if they pressure less, we will get more done. And that made me think of, in this pressure that we're going on, we're all on a roller coaster. And we're just running faster. And the faster we run, the more pressure there is. We're not actually doing anybody a favor by pressuring them more without the necessary support. And where companies, in my opinion, don't realize is take a bit more time to find out what it is that people need and how can we support you. And the moment that happens, that human factor, that's where engagement goes up.
Absolutely.
And we need to start looking at this whole system. Are we really fixing this problem if people leave by just employing new people?
Oh, no, you're making the problem worse. People leaving, a top manager leaving, will cost 1.5 to 2 times his salary just for a replacement. That's in time, getting the recruitment agency, he might not be as good. And just remember the effect of somebody leaving a company.
Mm-hmm.
What's the ripple effect with the staff?
Mm-hmm.
They get depressed, they get anxious, they get worried and wondering what's happening. Why has this top person now left? There's 2 companies now, we know that top management's left because of a buyout. We know exactly how the staff are feeling. So this is all costly. It's all costly. The cost of the replacement is on the spreadsheet. The effect that it has on the staff is not on the spreadsheet. So that is what leaders have to look at. And in today's times, companies that take control and understand that times have changed. Well, I'm just thinking, what could be causing the disengagement? This is my own personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Companies are moving too fast. They're growing at a rapid pace. They can't even keep up with the technology. I mean, there was one technology, then the next minute there's another technology. It's all introduced to the staff, and it's like a roller coaster that keeps happening. And secondly, I think it's the capacity of the staff, the capacity of the human. They're overwhelmed. They have fear. They're feeling unsure about what's happening. So those are the 2 that I think, and that's just my opinion, that can be causing this disengagement. And misalignment amongst teams.
Poor communication.
Poor communication. They work in silos. Finance blames ops blames sales. And who's there to solve that? Because you can't work, how long are you at work? People who work for 8 hours a day. Can you live under that pressure for 8 hours a day? And then you still got to take it home and function. So that is a problem. I think the companies today, I know that the companies today that invest in wellness programs, and in some companies it's compulsory, have seen a dramatic increase in productivity. In fact, productivity, when they get involved with structured integration and engagement programs, has gone up by 50%. Sales has gone up by 12%. So that's from structured integrated programs. That's visible on your spreadsheet. Staff wellness programs is no longer a soft skill. It's in fact a hard skill. It's an operational requirement. If a company's machinery, 80% of their machinery broke down, that's just not a mishap, that's an emergency.
Absolutely.
And I think leaders have to understand that that's the times we're living in now. That we have to take cognizance of how the staff are feeling. And if 80% are disengaged, pay attention.
What we're actually realizing is this is no longer an HR problem. This is a leadership problem. We need to stop for a moment. And a lot of people will say to me, but Christa, we don't have the time. We don't have the time to slow down. What they don't realize is if you take the time now and regroup, you're going to save, because you're going to save time. Because people are going to know where they're going. They're going to know what's expected of them. They're going to have the support to do it. So we are cutting down on the rework.
No, absolutely.
And we can get to the target faster because we don't have to continually try and fix things. And if we can get that right, really invest the time, and I agree with you, that we are moving at such a rapid race that the pressure is driving us, and we're forgetting to bring the people with us. When I work with relationships, I often hear people saying, I'm working hard now, I'm working long hours so that I can establish the business and then one day have the time to enjoy it with my partner. And I'm often amazed, because what happens is, and I ask them, are you taking your partner with you? Are you investing time with one another as you are going on the journey? Because your partner might not be at the end with you if you don't bring them with. And that happens the same in business as well.
Absolutely.
Your people working for you, are they the partner? If I am pushing so hard for the end goal, what's going to happen is people eventually, immediately, they get to the point of where they start disengaging. They actually start pulling back. There's no initiative anymore. And then what starts happening is they check out, and then they leave the company. So now we have to replace them. So now you already have lost this partner where you were focusing on the long haul.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with work. 64% of them are quiet quitters.
Mm-hmm.
So they're busy looking for other work.
And that's the presenteeism that we were talking about. They're there, but they're busy putting feelers out.
The most important fact of that is that it's senior management and leaders that make up 64% of those quiet quitters.
Mm-hmm.
They're burnt out, they're done. But they're showing up. You can't show up from an empty cup.
And the reality that we're sitting is to get those highly skilled people to replace them becomes more and more difficult, because they're leaving, and they're often leaving the country. So where are you? If you lose those people and you didn't pay attention, you did not make sure that there's that engagement, you are going to have to replace the person. And the question is where you're going to find them. Will you be able to? And that's where that disengagement is starting to cost you. So it's fix the human system, and you absolutely fix your profits.
Yeah, take them with you. Take your people with you. Don't forget about them.
Absolutely.
We understand AI, it's there to make things, that was our previous conversation. It should make their workflow and streamline things. So if it's making it easier for them, pay attention now to them, because you've got the time to do that.
And that's exactly what we in Transcend Dynamics really want to drive home, is we need to look after the human factor. You said earlier, this is no longer a soft skill, this is a hard skill.
It's a hard skill.
If you can automate your systems, but the people brings the energy that actually will give you the sustainability for your company. And investing in them shouldn't be what a lot of companies are doing, is almost like paying lip service. I've had a conversation the other day with one of a person said to me, you know what, our company has got all the values, what we stand for, our people matter, on the banners as you walk into the office. But it's not happening on the floor. It's not happening in reality. We need to start making sure that what we say we stand for, that our people feel it, they can live it. Because you will have then loyalty, that people will stay because they feel they belong, they are being valued, they are being seen. There's a growth path for them in the company. We need to create those paths and clarity on that. And then we will see our disengagement dropping.
Yeah, that's the culture of the organization. So fix the culture, fix the people, fix the profit.